Here's another top 5, this one being the best exclusive games for the PS3. As always, enjoy!
Get up, it's time for another top 5!
Jesus, what's it on this time?
Top 5 best exclusive PS3 games, come on!
Bloody hell, I can't stand this shit.
Starting off the list, the first series that comes into mind is Uncharted, spanning 3 titles with a 4th one on the way for the PS4. There's no denying that this blockbuster action game ticks many of the right boxes. Voice actor Nolan North does a fantastic job in creating the iconic character of Nathan Drake, the handsome protagonist who wields an arsenal of weapons and treasure hunting skills from his great ancestors. We follow his journey through these 3 current games as we battle relentless forces of enemies, solve quirky puzzles and delve into the intriguing story head on. The game is more of a linear approach. You follow the story while each chapter promptly pops on screen, signifying the approach to the next section of the game. I think what a lot of us can agree on though is the look of the game. The graphics are amazing, fully pushing the capability of the PS3 console. Hell, the latest one for the PS4 is being said to look like real life. The game also features an awesome climbing mechanic. No, it isn't as free and precise as a game such as Assassin's Creed, however, it works very well for when the opportunities are presented to climb a huge gargantuan structure. I'd have to go out there though and say I think the second Uncharted game of the series is by far my favourite. Just the right length, guns galore, good puzzles and the game that really kickstarted the series for future sequels. So there we have it, a great kickstarter to this list with the Uncharted series where you fight bad guys, find treasure, get the ladies and experience a great story with gameplay that plays like a genuine action movie.
Swap Production.
Coming up number 4 with the first game I ever played on the PS3, which was the first installment to the infamous franchise. We follow protagonist Cole McGrath, who has been gifted super electric powers from a freak storm, involving him to a possible superhero from a deadbeat loser who had nothing going for him. I say possible superhero as this game plays very much like an RPG, being you can either be good or evil depending on your choices in game and the civilians you go out to kill. This instantly puts the game high up on the ranking for replayability, as you will find yourself playing through the entire game again as the opposite side that you did for when you first played. The game is a free roam and has a great story to follow. The characters were very engaging and you could definitely begin to develop general feelings for them, especially when you get put into sticky situations having to choose what to do with certain people. The power aspect though is awesome and you will have different abilities depending on your current status. Being evil gives you access to way more destructive abilities, while being good pushes the use of healing powers for civilians and allies. Either way, you're going to have fun blasting bad guys with your arsenal of electric powers. Personally, I've only played the first 2 Infamous games on the PS3 and have not played the most recent ones for the PS4. However, this is a very highly recommended series to invest in, so next time you have some spare cash, bargain it for these great games. Coming in at number 3, we have the biggest games to come out for the PlayStation in recent years. A truly spectacular effort in the arts of storytelling and the survival horror inspired gameplay. We follow Joel and Ellie, a middle-aged man who ends up getting paired up with a young girl. They are in the middle of an apocalypse where a fungus breaks out and turns people into, you guessed it, zombies. His mission is to get her to the Fireflies, a group fighting to eradicate the virus, as Ellie is immune to the virus and she could be what they need to rid the disease of mankind and build this civilization back to normal. The game is by the same creators of Uncharted, the company Naughty Dog, so the game plays out nearly entirely the same as the Uncharted series, with a linear storyline and chapters, so players of Uncharted know exactly what to expect from this Naughty Dog release. This is one of those games that has been hyped up so much that you really need to play it to experience it for yourself. I can go on about how I love the characters, gameplay, etc, but if you want a true justification, go out there and buy this game already.
Sam, we need to get ideas for the second skit. We are on air now. Oh my god, first Douglas and now you, narrator guy. Right. How about this? Go ask Douglas and tell him to do anything you want. It's entertaining enough. Perfect, sir. I'm gonna go get him now. Such a d***.
Spanning from the early days of PS1 to the raging days of PS2, at one point the Crash Bandicoot series really did have it all. This game, to many avid gamers, including myself, reeks of the word nostalgia. The Crazy Bandicoot platformer was an absolute blast, spanning many different games that did get rather ridiculous with the likes of Crash of the Titans and Mind of a Mutant. However, the first few games of the series are the golden gems of the series. The game was original, fun, compelling, and anyone could play it and have a good time no matter what the age. The Adventures of Crash Bandicoot and its objective to stop supervillain Dr. Neo Cortex with even more memorable characters in the way such as Aku Aku and Jin, Coco, was an experience that had to be delved into to fully understand the fun this game provided. Every level of the first 3 games always had something new to offer and not just the same old rehashed design that we tend to see too frequently in other platformers. However, these days things aren't too bright for the old Crash, as mentioned before, the newer and much less appealing games that have come out for the franchise. However, we still have the classic games to play that are still a driving force in the PlayStation market and still hold a strong posture to this day.
I have honestly no idea what could be number 1. Short and bloody time here though, mate. Can you help me out?
Idiot. Isn't it obvious which the top spot is? God. Here, I got it. Catch.
Oh. Hey, nice pick. For the first time in my life, I like your thinking. Yeah, man, it's what I'm about.
Coming in at number 1, my personal favourite series. The first 3 games do it for me alone, but we will get to the others later. Much like Crash Bandicoot for the PS1, Ratchet & Clank was the driving force for the PS2 and it was incredible. The characters, guns, gameplay, story, level design, enemies all had a big fat check next to them as I gleefully played through this game, smiling uncontrollably due to its pure awesomeness as a little kid and even to this present day. Replayability is another factor to this game. Being able to play through the entire game from start to finish with all your upgraded weapons, armor and experience was that ever more satisfying. The first 3 games managed to get better with each installment and is a perfect buy for the PS3 to get the remastered version of the first 3 games, especially for people who are new to the franchise. The series is good on the PS3, no doubt. The newer titles such as The Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time are magnificent, but since A Crack in Time, there really hasn't been a proper Ratchet & Clank game since, so that does suck. However, we have got what we have been given, and it proves to be an incredible franchise and the one I most enjoyed for the PlayStation.